What's up, everybody? Welcome to the South. This is a Starbucks, but it looks like a freaking old bank. And you could be here all day. The line's not moving. It's not gonna move. Welcome to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. On this video, I'm gonna tell you guys what the South is really about. And we're gonna go up a street called Foster Katy. So it goes up the east side. Figure out how to get there. I want to tell you guys why I hate the freaking South. It's a racist, backwards place. This is Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I lived in Montgomery, which is a crap hole of a city. But this is Baton Rouge, which is an even bigger crap hole than Montgomery. So let me tell you why the South is a crappy place you don't want to live. That Starbucks there, you could be there for an hour and you won't get your food because the people in there are dragging their feet. I want to vent a lot of frustration on this video, so I hope you guys are ready to hear a lot of frustration, but nothing that I'm telling you is a lie. I ain't making this stuff up. If it was a lie, you could be mad at me, but it's all the truth. Last night we go to check in our hotel, okay, and then this city, Baton Rouge, by the way, has big buildings, big investments, and for every square inch of crap, there's a square inch of investment in new buildings and stuff. They got suburbs and stuff out here, okay? But that by no means equals that is a good place to live. So I lived the nightmare of 1 year in the Montgomery metropolitan area, and I can tell you that this is worse than Montgomery. When I told you guys that I experienced discrimination in Alabama, I was never specific about from who it came, because I don't want to antagonize and I don't want to become part of the problem. But I never specified in Alabama who the primary aggressor was when I left Alabama. As a matter of fact, go that way?
Yeah, if you go straight, you'll catch up with Foster, which is where you want to go.
But not like a mile or two down the road. Like, I want to start Foster from where it starts.
It is where it starts.
All right, cool. So what I want you guys to understand is this. We go into our hotel last night, and it wasn't the one we stayed at. We went to the first hotel, and I was there for half an hour. Now, the person in front of me is a woman, and the woman starts to flirt with me. Now, her card had got declined, so she obviously didn't have the means, you could say, to pay for her hotel stay. But the guy on the phone at the front desk is trying to help her work it out with her employer, who has like a company card or something. So she's starting to realize that she's not gonna be able to stay there. She doesn't have any money, so she starts to flirt with me, like, whatever. And I was like, no, my wife is in the car and you need to stop. So literally, the lady in front of me starts to flirt with me to kind of convince me to let her stay in my room with her. And I'm like, my wife is in the car, you need to freaking stop. So then the employee joins the woman in harassing me, and he's had me waiting for 30 minutes while this ordeal is going on. Now, he could have checked me in briefly, because there was periods where he could have checked me in. He didn't check me in, but a black person walks in, gets in front of me, he checks them in. Another black person comes in, checks them in, makes me wait. So if they're waiting for 30 minutes and seeing that he's checked in two other people, but won't check me in, it's pretty freaking clear what's going on in that scenario. And so I left and went to another hotel, and they checked me in without a problem. So when you see all this litter and all this garbage, let me explain to you how the South works. You see all this litter and all these garbage. These are suburbs we're staying in over here, and they got litter and garbage everywhere out here in the suburbs. Is that people like that come here and they go to a hotel, for example, and they get treated like crap because of who they are. And it could go either way because it's a deep South. We're not going to say one group or the other. It's a deep South. Everybody's racist. So you walk in a hotel and treat like garbage. So you know what you do? You grab all your soda cups, all the garbage you have in your car, and you throw it out the window in front of their lobby, and then you leave. And that's why there's litter everywhere. The white people go litter in the black area, the black people go litter in the white area, and the whole place looks like a dump because it's all passive-aggressive racism. And that's what makes the South unbearable to live in. Now,
it'll be up ahead on the left.
I said, does that mean everybody that lives here is racist? No. Does that mean everybody left? Is it right there?
Yeah.
That's it? That's my road?
Yes, that is your road.
Does that mean everybody in the South is racist? No. Does that mean everybody in the South is evil? No. But the ones who are good people, they have to put up with so much crap on a daily basis. It's easy for you in New York City or California to say, I love everybody. I live in California. Come and love everybody in Louisiana. Come and love everybody in Mississippi. Come and love everybody in Alabama. You'll find out it's a whole lot harder here. And the damage that I experienced to my person living in Alabama is a damage that I can't work. What the crap was that? We just got hit by a golf ball. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that. Our car just got hit by a golf ball.
Keep coming.
Ooh. What the crap was that about? They're literally shooting golf balls at passing cars. You think that's funny? Jerk. Our cars just got hit by a golf ball. People here in these places, bro, are absolutely aggravating. Like, as you can see, nobody's got no respect for anybody. It's just a place where everybody's angry and bitter at everybody else. Racism is just eating people up. They're full of hate. They're full of contempt for other people. Bro, I'm gonna tell you, if you live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you gotta get your family out of this place. Out. You need to get not out to the suburbs anywhere. It's a little bit. No. Get your family out of this place, bro. Get your family out of here. Move somewhere decent. Are you gonna have to work harder? 10 times harder. Are you gonna get paid as much? No, you're not. Are you gonna be able to buy a house for $50,000? No, you're not. It's gonna be harder. But if you want your family to have a better future and to escape the hate that has plagued this part of the country for centuries, you're gonna have to wake up and join the real world. You know? Look at a Jack. Is that a Jack or a Jack's?
Jack's.
Jack in the Box. Okay.
Jack in the Box.
Because Jack's is like a knockoff of Jack in the Box. It's just unbelievable. And you know, all the things that I experienced living in Montgomery, Alabama, when I come back to Baton Rouge, I kind of feel all of it again. Like sitting in that hotel lobby, watching this guy check all these people in and let me sit there like an idiot. You know, and then, you know, the woman trying to get hooked up with me because she ain't got a hotel room, and then the employee joins and harassing me with her. It's just, these people are down here, for the most part, are just disgusting. Look at that, litter flying in the middle of the road. Look at that. Just litter flying everywhere, garbage everywhere. My message to the good people here in Baton Rouge is, if you care about your family and you don't want your family to learn these ways of the Deep South, man, get your family up out of here. Find somewhere better where you don't have to deal with the systematic hate. And it doesn't matter, you know, and a lot of people don't understand is that in Alabama, both groups are muscling their way into, in Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, both groups are muscling their way into power, and they do it by stepping on everybody else, you know. And it's passive aggressive, it's not direct, okay, which just makes it even worse because it's cowardly. Because where I come from in Florida, if you got a problem with somebody, you just take care of it right there and there. These people, they play a dirty game, man, where if you're an outsider, you don't recognize it. But once you see it, and somebody from Oklahoma or, I don't know, New York, who would have been in that hotel lobby, they would have thought the guy was being rude or inconsiderate. But they don't realize is that's not what it's really about. I've lived in Montgomery. I already know what was going on in that situation, you know. But then, you guys remember on one of the recent videos, we talked about how a hotel in Mississippi had bad reviews? Mm-hmm. And we thought that the reviews were not real? Mm-hmm. That's why they got bad reviews. I can totally see me now. Why are there pills on the floor? What are these pills? What are these pills? And why are they on the floor?
Oh, I don't know what they are.
Talking about pills, I need to take one.
Put them in my allergy.
At that Starbucks line, you could be at that Starbucks line for 45 minutes. I guarantee you, bro, Fort Myers, where I live in Florida, that Starbucks line would be 10 times bigger, and you would be out of that line in 10 minutes. That line there, they got 5 cars, and that line will be there for 5 hours. You know, not exaggerating, maybe 45 minutes is a reasonable expectation to be at that Starbucks line.
Yeah.
Why? Because the employees in there, they think they got it made because they got a job, so they don't care about the customers in the line. Nope. They care about the fact they already got a job. So that's just, and then they got the audacity to believe that they're better than other people. It's just called Florida.
Yeah.
Is it going to town? Let's take that. I'm way back on the other side too there.
Okay.
Right back into town.
Okay.
But Baton Rouge. I'm showing my gummies.
Mm-hmm.
Baton Rouge, Montgomery, all these cities in the South are all the same. They're just filled with hate. These people are just filled with freaking hate, man. And if you're living in a part of the country that's more expensive, yes, it's hard to buy a house. Yes, it's hard. You have to work like an animal. You might have to work 2 or 3 jobs to make it. But trust me, when you downgrade into one of these places in the Deep South because they're more affordable, there's a reason it's more affordable. It's not just more affordable and it's a great deal for you. There's a reason why these places in the Deep South are more affordable. The reason they're more affordable is because they suck. So don't think you're going to move to a Montgomery or Baton Rouge and you're going to... I know it's hard. I know what you're facing where you live right now because I faced it myself. Hey, I left Florida. I left the best place in Florida. Naples is the best place in Florida. I left the best place in Florida, Naples, to move to the worst place in the country, Montgomery, Alabama, because I couldn't afford it anymore. I realized that I'd have been better homeless in Naples than in a $1 million house in Montgomery. Because these broke, hungry, envious, lazy, racist people aren't going to let you have anything nice, bro. You can't have it. They can have it. They just released a case out of, just came out of Prichard, Alabama. We were there yesterday, which is the Mobile area. Look at that neighborhood up in there. It looks like Mobile area. Prichard. It's on the north side of Mobile. It's basically Mobile. And in Prichard, they arrested, I don't know if she was a commissioner or whatever. She was in charge of the city waterworks, you know? Her job was to make sure that everybody in the city had water. Well, she was apparently running a scheme where she would give people fines, not by the city, but by her own accord. She would fine people, right? I think she was white and her husband was black. Collaboration right there. Putting the two best things together. So I'm gonna assume she was white. Maybe she wasn't. I can't remember. But either way, it was in the news. And this lady and this husband, he was arrested for accepting stolen goods. She was arrested for, I guess, some type of fraud. But basically, what they were doing is that they were they're giving people fines, but not by the city. They were just taking the money and they were keeping it for them. And they put in front of her house, she was buying Jordans for her husband, and she was buying Nike shoes. All their goodies that they had stolen and whatever, they were all just kind of on display in front of her house, you know, before they could take the photos of how they were living. What was the word that they used, Katie?
What was it? Vanity.
Vanity. The shirt's like, these people had vanity items. Basically, they were buying Louis Vuitton and Gucci and Jordans and stuff like that. And they had like 2 trailers, and they had a truckload of weaponry. They had an entire truckload. Like, they filled up a trailer and a truck with weapons, shoes, all of these luxuries and vanity items is how they referred to it. I see my good. It's looking pretty crappy around here. I don't know how far this road goes all the way through town. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're at the center of it now. We still got a long way to go. Mm-hmm. So what I want to do, Katie? See this 27 or 60? This street right here, 67. We want to go like that, join that street, and go south to the main street of the city. But anyways, in Prichard, this lady had apparently $200,000. She had been fining people. She was giving people fines. And $200,000 worth of fines to buy Jordans and Gucci and Louis Vuitton. But then they caught her. And if you see Prichard, Alabama, now we've been everywhere in the United States on the East Coast. Is there anything more miserable than Prichard, Alabama, Katie?
Not really.
No. This is absolutely the poorest, most miserable place in the entire country. And Prichard, Alabama is bad. I mean, it's worse than Immokalee. I mean, Immokalee is a gem compared to Prichard. I mean, this is literally a bad place. It's among probably the worst place in the country. In fact, I think Charlie Boo did a top 10 worst cities in the South, and he put Prichard as number 2, I think. So, yeah, it's bad. Yet, the people that are in charge of running that city, they're going around charging people fines, and I guess they had an elaborate scam where they would fine you, but the funds wouldn't go to the city; it would go directly to their account that they were using liberally. Yeah, just horrendous. Just horrendous, really. The things you see. Yeah, I'm gonna take a right hand turn here and get that right to it. It's really horrendous, the things that you see.
You don't want to take it to the end and go to where
This looks
it
pretty hood
tees?
up in here. This looks pretty hood. I want to the left here. It looks pretty hood. We can go.
I would keep going.
Yeah. All right.
Just so we can get a full scope of the city.
Oh, you're getting it already.
Yeah.
You're getting it. Dude, this is literally worse than Montgomery.
I know.
You know what I thought? Well, last time we came to Baton Rouge, we were in the city core,
which is nice.
which is not that bad. But I can see how this is actually the worst part of the city, and we're kind of far out, in this, almost surrounded by the suburbs. But this is really the worst part of it. It's strange. What's going on with that fence there? Budget appliance. Wow. Okay. And they got cameras in all directions. Look how many cameras they got. Like 50 cameras on that property. Yeah, this is kind of like the worst of it's actually over here. Look at this, man. I don't even know what the crap that is, bro. Town's in bad shape, man. It really is. But the worst of it's over here. I thought it was in the city core. We were looking around last time, and we thought the worst of this city. We had seen the worst of Baton Rouge, but it's actually not the old city core. It's actually like out here. Look at this, dude. This is like a dump. What the crap? All these houses are falling to crap, bro. Look at this house. It's got metal bars on the air conditioners, metal bars on the doors. The sign says private residence. A giant sign says polite residence do not disturb. Like, that should just give you an idea of the type of crime. You can tell this place is just. You can tell this place is just littered with crime.
There's a road that it ends at Glen Oak, and then you can get straight on 67, the road you want to be on.
Yeah, this is definitely bad up here. I didn't realize, I thought we had seen the worst of Baton Rouge. This is dumpy out here. And we're not even up against, let me see here. Crazy stuff, man. Oh, yeah, I mean, there's an artist from here, from Baton Rouge, and he has a song where they starts off with his friends on the phone with him, and he's telling him, man, you got to get up and move. They're going to kill you, man. And one of the lyrics to that song says, leave Baton Rouge, or leave BR, move to LA where I don't have to keep a tool, So, even the people that are from here, if you're from here and you get famous, you gotta get up out of here. You can't stay here because, it's just a hateful place. And don't take my word for it. Now, if you're from Baton Rouge and for some reason you're offended at me, hey, don't take my word for it. Listen to your own city's artists. What does what's his name? NBA Youngboy in his song called Untouchable. What he says, leave BR because they gonna kill me. Move to LA where I don't have to keep a tool. So that's don't take my word for it. You guys remember Master P and No Limit? I think they grossed $700 million. This is one of the biggest from nothing enterprises in the United States. Masterpiece, No Limit. They did music, they did movies, they got into real estate, they got music studios. I mean, these people, they were from here, from Baton Rouge. They're from New Orleans and the Baton Rouge area, and they lived in Baton Rouge for a while. Okay, so they're kind of from here in a sense. Look up the net worth of Masterpiece, No Limit. I think 300 to 700 million dollars. You got real estate, you got recording studios, you got movies, you got music, you got clothing lines. You have they work with lawyers as well all over the South. But there's a difference between Master P and those guys, is that they were hustlers. They were go-getters. I mean, people that, if you let your house fall to crap and you ain't doing something to fix it, if you letting your neighborhood go to crap and you ain't doing nothing to make it better, then you're not a hustler, you're not a go-getter. Master P's a hustler and a go-getter. But don't take my word for it. Listen to Master P. What did he say? There's a 7-hour documentary on YouTube right now. It's a documentary on the history of Master P and his No Limit crew. And again, these are not some hoodlums. These are people who made 700. How many $1 million did they make?
Master P himself is worth 200 million.
Himself, Master P is worth 200 million. Let me tell you something about Master P. It's not what he's worth. It's how many millions he's created for other people around him. Because he likes to see other people eat. Matter of fact, you know, like the death for the Suge Knight guy, he was trying to ruin. It just recently came out. He was trying to ruin Snoop Dogg's career, and Master P bought him out. Master P bought Snoop Dogg, not to own him, just to liberate him from the hands of Suge Knight. That just recently came out. So it's not somebody that just they take care of themselves. It's somebody that.
Yeah.
Is this that main road right here? The road we're supposed to get on.
Yeah.
This is it.
That's Plank Road.
It's not just somebody who takes care of themselves. It's somebody who takes care of themselves and other people. Make sure other people eat. That's Master P. When I say he's worth 700 million, he's worth 200 million himself. But he's put all these people around him. They're all millionaires too. All of them. The whole Miller family is rich. Like, I'm rich. Probably wealthy would be the right term at this point. Well, anyways, don't take my word for it. In his documentary, he elaborately explains how when they got money and they moved to the suburbs in Baton Rouge, how horrendous. Like, they were familiar with the hood life, and this is the other thing you don't understand. Like, if you're from the hood, you're used to the poverty and the griminess of the hood. But what you don't realize is that it's another jungle. That's the word he used in the documentary. It's about a 7-hour documentary. He used the word jungle to describe being black and rich in a suburban setting, because once you get the money, they don't want you to have the money. So now you thought getting up out of the hood was a battle. And this is what happened to me in Montgomery, Alabama. I thought getting out of Naples, in my hood in Naples, was the battle. Getting out, making it out. I thought once I moved to a suburban place out here in Montgomery, everything was going to be great. You know, I'm living in the suburbs now. But if you watch that documentary, don't take my word for it. Listen to Master P, and he'll tell you. In that documentary, he thought he made it out. He thought he was good because now he's living in a golf course gated community. And actually, that was just the start of their problems, was getting the money. Because now these rich people, they don't want to see you coming from nothing, living the way they live. They don't want to see that. And I've experienced that in my life myself to a smaller extent. Where, okay, now I'm living better. Let me see what I can do from. Oh, you can't do that. Or it bothers people that you're able to do something for yourself. They don't want to see you do it for yourself. So one battle is getting up out of here. The other battle is going to be when you finally move into that gated community and you find out that they don't want you there because they don't want people like you there. And I think that documentary on Master P is interesting because it shows, one, how easily they could have ruined their lives easily. There's no shortage of clips for cover photos in this video. How easily their life could have been ruined. You know, Master P. That's interesting. What's his name? That's got a photo material right there. Okay, that's definitely our cover photo. I just gotta get a good clip of it. Maybe it's our cover photo. There's so much good cover photo on this video. This is a really messed up neighborhood. We gotta be careful here. And look at this neighborhood, bro. This is completely just decrepit, bro. And again, it is affordable. Like, you can affordably, lots of graffiti. This dark side gang. Wow, there's graffiti on everything here. Like every single one of these 60s. So there's gang graffiti on everything out here. Like, look at these buildings. Dixie, dark side. right there. So this is like a gang, I guess, and they control this neighborhood because they got graffiti everywhere. They're not being shy about what's going on here. But you can see it right there. Graffiti in purple. So I'm gonna guess this is I'm not gonna comment on it because I don't know. Let me just shut up. But anyways, y'all, the reality of places like this is that, man, like, if you in here, you got to get up out of here. Just like that song, Move to LA, where you don't got to keep a tool. The problem is that once you get on the other side of that equation, once you finally get your family out of these neighborhoods, you still are going to face another jungle, another beast somewhere else. And that other beast that you're going to face is the fact that even after you make money, you're still not wanted in the economical realm to be seen. Somebody like you with a squatted Cadillac. Bro, I've seen it all. Weren't we on this street last time we were in the city? We were on this street last time we were here. Doesn't this look super familiar? It's gotten a lot worse since the last time we were here. We were on the street, weren't we?
No.
I'm almost certain last time we came to Baton Rouge we were on this same street. It's gotten a lot worse since the last time we were here. This is squatted Cadillac. That's hilarious. All right, GPS out of here, basically. GPS Houston, Texas. Houston's got a lot of big hoods like this too. I've never seen Houston. We're gonna go to Texas. We've been to Texas, but not Houston. We did a tour of Texas, but we didn't see any of the big cities. Rest in peace, Slugger. This is a place like there's graffiti everywhere, all of the gang related. His neighborhood's bad.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Nakoma Street. This route avoids road closures on.
Another thing, the smell of substance here is so strong. Everywhere you go, everybody's high. Even in fancy hotels, both in Jackson, Mississippi, and Baton Rouge. Everywhere you go, everybody's high. But yeah, once you do get your family, out of the hood and out of poverty, there's another beast.
Turn left
on the other side.
Nakoma Street.
Turn left here?
Yeah, in Nokomis.
Yeah, then there's another beast you gotta face. Once you finally
Use the left 2 lanes to take
once
the
you finally get your
I-110
family out of the poverty and out of the hood, then you still have to get yourself accustomed to the other jungle that's out there, which is not a pretty one. But it's not just getting out of the neighborhood and the poverty. It's also once you join that corporate American beast, where you have to work like an animal and come up with a mortgage and insurance and this and that and that. That swallows you up too. But if you care about your family, you gotta do it. If you care about your family, you gotta do it. But don't think it's over once you get your family out of the struggle. There's more. Maybe look at the trucks just like ours with the big wheels.
Yeah.
Use the left 2 lanes to take the I-110 ramp, then merge onto I-110 South.
I wonder if they had to use a lift kit. I'm curious to ask them, but they look like they're definitely hanging out in the spot. Probably best just keep it moving. Keep going.
Yeah.
Those gotta be like 28 to 30s. So yeah, that's half the battle. I mean, half the battle is getting out. The other half of the battle is once you're out and you realize, like, I really liked that documentary because it showed, like, once they were in the suburbs, now the people in the suburbs, they don't want a bunch of black rappers in the neighborhood.
South for 3 miles.
And the law enforcement started arresting them all and putting fake charges on them. Everything that I lived in Alabama, when I heard that documentary about Master P, it just resonated so strongly with me because I knew exactly what he was going through there because I kind of lived it myself. So Baton Rouge is, I know I said a lot of bad things, but let me say a few positive things. One, of course, is that people have made it from a poor, poverty-stricken environment like this. You have people like Master P who are into the hundreds of millions. and they moved out to California, and they moved back, and they did whatever they had to get it done, you know. So you have people who have been successful coming from Baton Rouge on an international level. Some of the best food in the country is Louisiana. But man, this area's got a lot of stuff it needs to sort out. And my message is just to the hardworking people of Baton Rouge.
In 2 miles, take exit 1I for I-10 West toward Lafayette.
That are tired of dealing with the Deep South and all that. You know, you do have to get your family somewhere better, but don't think that getting them there is the end of the road. There's still a whole nother battle on the other side. I mean, I've seen people, you know, pretty much go from getting out of poverty only to end up dying from an OD in the suburbs. So you might die from a gunshot wound over here in the city, but then you could die from an OD in the suburbs. It's just a never-ending. I love how we finished the drive heading straight into this building right here, which is prominently featured in that documentary from last year. Watch it; it's free. It's on the internet. It is about 7 hours long. And the part when they get to Baton Rouge, man, I really, when I saw that documentary, I was like, man, I gotta go back to Baton Rouge and just kind of elaborate a little bit on that. But yeah, the city's got a long way to go. I recently, I was afraid, I did a video similar like this in Memphis, Tennessee, where we just talked on the video to the people of Memphis who are trying to get out, and I couldn't believe how great the feedback was. I was a little afraid to do the video, because I was like, man, this video...
In half a mile, take exit 1I for I-10 West toward Lafayette.
But at the end of the day, whether you're rich or poor, everybody has to keep trying to hold on to giving your family the best, because they deserve it. Your family deserves the best. And while most not most, but too many people are just consumed with hate, you know, you can't be in a place where you're forced to be hateful, whether you want to or not.
Continue on I-10 West for 186 miles.
Because that takes a toll on you eventually. And if you're not like that, you slowly have to start politicking that way, whether you like it or not, man. I wasn't ready for living in the Deep South. I really wasn't. Because I grew up in a place...
Across the mighty Mississippi.
Yeah, I lived in a place where, you know, Naples, Florida, where, yeah, we were discriminated. We're never going to make it. As a Hispanic, I was never going to make as much as the white people. Never going to... Dang impossible. Just dang near impossible that I was ever going to make as much as a white person in Naples or live like them. Because the system's not set up to give you those opportunities as a Hispanic. But there's a difference between inequality and outright hate, and that's kind of where you have to understand the difference in the Deep South. It's not inequality. The inequality and hate are two different things. See, I lived in Florida where we have inequality, okay, and that's bad, but it's not hate, it's not bitterness, it's not envy, it's not greed, it's not politicking race. No, that's a whole different thing that you get here in the Deep South that kind of just ruins it for everybody, really. It's like you got people here that they're holding on to a mindset, and it's on both sides. And one side right now that is muscling harder than the other. You know, you should remember your history, that you were slaves, and that your people suffered so much because of hate. How can you now, even though you suffered so much from it, how can you now be the perpetrator against hating other people? But it just blows my mind how, to the level that, you know, but it's the truth. And if you're moving to the Deep South, you need to know this. And it's not just Baton Rouge or Montgomery, it's the whole Deep South. If you're moving to Deep South because it's more affordable, to escape the inaffordability of where you are now, just know that the reason why people don't want to live in the Deep South is because maybe not the first 3 months. The first 3 months is going to be a honeymoon for you. You know, the first few months are a honeymoon. You're not really. Yeah, the first few months is a honeymoon, practically, right? But eventually, that honeymoon's going to turn into a nightmare. That honeymoon's going to turn into, you're going to realize, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then you see it everywhere because you know what it is. That's why I can come to a place like Baton Rouge, and I can be here for one day and I can feel uncomfortable because I'm already seeing it. You know, I don't want to be around hate. I don't want to be around just this attitude, because what happens is everybody takes it differently. The problem with me is that I take offense to it, and it turns you into them. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be like that. Where, like, I live in Southwest Florida. I can go to if I want to go to the black neighborhood and eat some fried chicken at midnight in the hood, I'm gonna get treated like anybody else. If I want to go to Miami in Liberty City and eat at what's that place we eat at in Miami? Lemon Peppers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel different because I'm not black when I do that. Bro, you come out here and you walk in the deep South in Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. You walk into a business and you're not supposed to be there, and believe me, you will be treated uncomfortably. I don't need that in my life. Why would I? This guy's from Florida right here. Are you surprised how many people from Florida out here?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. I'm thinking a lot of people are leaving Florida and they don't know what they're getting into. I'm warning you right now in this video. You don't know what you're getting into. If I haven't even been able to tell you the whole nightmare that I lived in Alabama, because it's not. If I told you the entire scope of the nightmare that I lived in Alabama, you just wouldn't believe it. But I've been seeing a lot of people from Florida up this way, and Texas too. I don't know why. Why'd you put all the Texas tags? I guess they come to the beaches over here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But just know that there's a price to pay for that affordability. It's interesting. Like, that's Florida, Texas, Mississippi. Like, there's a lot. I've seen a lot of California today. This one's Texas as well. There's a lot of people from other states coming through here. And what's weird about Baton Rouge is the suburbs we drove through last night. They're incredible suburbs. Big buildings, new hospitals, new hotels. But at the end of the day, what good is all that if the people that live there are bitter and angry? And they're going to treat you like crap based on who you are. Is that how it's telling you? It's brand new. I'm not saying anything on this video that hasn't been said already by other people. And again, I'm referring to Master P's documentary, and I'm referring to Youngboy's song Untouchable. So that if you're from Baton Rouge, I'm not saying nothing that hasn't already been said. I'm saying what's already been said. I'm not saying nothing new. So you can't come here now and tell me that I'm saying it's offensive when it's already been said by other people that are from here, you know? But now we're on the outskirts and we're heading off to Houston, Texas. See how far away from Houston?
Put it back in.
We gotta get something to eat. Oh, my pill. I took the gummies, but I didn't take the pills.
Continue on I-10 West for 180.
I hear Lafayette's got incredible food. Maybe we can get some.
This route avoids road closures on I-10 West. You are on the fastest route. You will arrive at 4:25 p.m.
Let me see.
I don't know if I have a water left.
I don't think we do.
See what there is to eat up ahead?
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of that.
Maybe there's still like a Starbucks further out or something.
Yeah, there definitely is.
Because that Starbucks there, you could be there for 45 minutes. That line ain't going to go move. It's great. Got a water also. What's that sign say, babe?
Lamb.
Watch your mouth. Don't be cursing in my truck. What's odd is like, just like there's a wave of people moving out of Florida, there's a wave of people moving back to Florida because the Deep South has gotten so bad that people are moving out of the Deep South. People that move to the Deep South are moving out because it's getting worse. Alright? Because people always say, oh, it's not 1967. No, it's not. But it's getting there. Is working towards getting back to 1967, and it's important that you understand that whether you're
on I-10 west for 48 miles.
whether you're living in the South. What do they got? They got palm trees here in the woods. Look at that, just like in Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
To the vegetation.
Yeah.
There's palm trees. If you pay close attention, there's palm trees in the woods there. The swamp there, it's got palm trees. But notice that. Because I'm looking through my comments and I'm seeing what's going on. And just like there's a wave of people moving into the Deep South for affordability, there's a wave of people that are in the Deep South that move there for somewhere else, and they're like, yo, I'm getting the crap out of here. Because I see 3 or 4 comments every single day on my channel of people telling me, Jose, I'm from Florida, I moved to Alabama or Tennessee or whatever in the Deep South, and I'm moving back to Florida. I can't handle this anymore. Because we're not quite back to 1967, but we're working to get there. You know, we're working on that. Deep South is, they're putting their work in, and it's starting to get bad. It's not getting better. So we're not quite back to 1967,
Continue
but
on I-10 west for 47
people
miles.
in the Deep South are working hard to make sure that we can get to that point again.
I would, say that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, because we see the comments every day, and the purpose of this video, in case you're wondering what the purpose of this video is, it is to help people who are moving to understand what the crap is going on in this world, because they need it. It's for you to know, for your family, for the better of your family, and for the better of everybody to understand. Deer! Some deer meat?
No, I can go past. It looks like it's been sitting for more than a few hours. Yeah. Unfortunately, there are some people who don't want to live around others.
Yeah. And it's gotten bad in the South. I mean, like, people say, oh, it's not 1967. Not yet.
They're working toward it.
You're working towards it, though. Like, you know, the Deep South hasn't come a long way. And you'll find out if you make the mistake of moving to the Deep South for affordability, you're going to find out why it's worth less. Because it's worth less. You'll find out. You'll find out why it's cheaper. You'll find out. It may not happen the first month. Your first 6 months might be a honeymoon, or your first year or two might be a honeymoon. Who knows? But eventually, you're going to look around and you're going to say, I ain't going to learn. I'm not going to be. Eventually, you're going to look at your kids and you're like, okay, so now my kids are going to learn to be like this? I don't want my kids to learn hate. I want my kids and my family to look at what's inside that matters. Look at the heart. Because what matters is your heart. It don't matter where you're from or what you look like. That doesn't matter. What matters is what's in your heart. You got good people that are busting themselves day and night to provide for their family the best future they can. And you got bad people that are out there hurting everybody else in a two-tone car. Just playing. That's interesting. All right, y'all. Let me hear your thoughts and opinions. Check it out.